Hello, I'm Steve Weber, the host of Essential Book Drop. We're featuring our top 3 new releases that you can see and download at essentialbookdrop.com. Happy Thursday, everyone. It's October 16th, 2025. With me, as always, is my co-host and my bookworm sidekick, Cassandra. Good morning, Cass.
Good morning. Ready to dive into some great stories today.
Well, we've got 3 delicious new books to talk about today, and I think the common thread: girl power, woman power, no matter the situation.
Absolutely. That's definitely what jumped out at me, too. It's all about female agency this week.
Right. So today, we're doing a bit of a deep dive into how these new releases, we've got fantasy, contemporary romance, even a thriller, how they're putting their female protagonists, firmly in the driver's seat.
Yeah, it's more than just having a female lead. It's about how they grapple with their circumstances, whether it's like a supernatural destiny, family duties, or even corporate crime.
Exactly. We're going to look at the summaries, pull out those key twists, and really see how these women are seizing control even when things seem stacked against them.
It feels like a trend, doesn't it? Heroines who aren't just reacting, but actively shaping their own stories, maybe even questioning the rules of the genre itself.
Couldn't agree more. Okay, let's kick things off with a trope that often takes choice away: the fated mate bond. First up is The Artsy Girl's Guide to Mating with a Werewolf, Bait Hunted Book 2, by Lola Glass. Genre here is humorous fantasy.
Right, and what's really interesting here is how it starts. The heroine isn't just stumbling into this. Her friend gets abducted by werewolves.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So she goes looking for her friend, takes action, and, well, plot twist, she ends up mate bonded herself.
So she wasn't the hunted, she was the hunter first. That flips the script.
Exactly. It sets up this immediate sense of her being proactive, not passive.
Okay, so let's unpack that a bit. Because it's not just, oh, neat, a werewolf boyfriend. There's history here, right? The summary mentions her last mate.
Oh, yeah. Major baggage. The source says he was an abusive a-hole. That's crucial.
Totally crucial. So she's not just wary of this new guy. She's probably wary of the entire concept of fate, of this bond itself. She's been burned badly.
Right. And that's where you see the depth in these newer paranormal romances. It's acknowledging past trauma, especially trauma linked to the world's own rules. Her suspicion isn't just a plot point to create tension.
It's a survival instinct.
Exactly. She has to figure out if this time, fate, or whatever it is, actually got it right. And the new guy is described as shy and sweet.
A total contrast. So how does she handle it? How does she regain agency when this, magical bond is telling her one thing, but her past is screaming danger?
Well, she can't just switch the bond off, right? So she uses what she can control.
Yeah.
The summary mentions teasing and banter.
Ah, okay. So, verbal sparring as a defense mechanism? Or maybe a test?
I think it's both. She's testing him, poking the shy werewolf maybe, seeing how he reacts, if he's patient, if he's respectful. She's making him earn her trust, bond or no bond.
So she's essentially making him prove he's not like the last one. She's vetting fate itself.
Pretty much. She's taking this thing that's supposed to be involuntary, and she's demanding proof of concept, you could say. It becomes about her choice to accept the bond, not just the bond existing.
That's a really powerful way to frame it. It turns a potentially coercive trope into a story about healing and ultimately her consent. She gets her second chance because she actively works through her trauma to claim it.
Exactly. And it delivers the heart and the humor, plus that satisfying happily ever after, because she allowed it.
Okay, fantastic. Let's shift gears now from paranormal destiny to something maybe a bit more grounded, but just as intense: family duty. We're looking at Take This Heart, Windy Harbor series, book 1 by Willow Astor. This one's contemporary small-town romance.
Right, moving from werewolves to small-town drama.
Yep. And we start with a pretty classic setup here: enemies to lovers. Our heroine meets Milo Lombardi, described as sinfully gorgeous, of course, at an art event.
Yeah.
And sparks fly, but not necessarily the good kind at first. They clash.
They do. But here's a twist I loved in the summary. They clash, and then almost immediately, she kissed his face off right after.
Well, okay, so no slow burn there.
None at all. It just injects immediate chaos and chemistry into the antagonism. They can't just pretend to hate each other for chapters on end because, well, that happened.
Right, so the confusion is there from the get-go. But why are they stuck together if they, rub each other the wrong way?
Well, this is where the real stakes come in. It's not just some contrived situation. Her family is in trouble. Her dad's been dealt a blow that threatens to turn our family's world upside down.
Oh, okay. Serious stuff.
Very serious. And somehow keeping things stable means she has to work closely with Milo, like all day, every day closely. She's doing it to keep the peace for her family.
Wow, okay, so that forced proximity isn't just for romantic tension. It's driven by this heavy sense of duty and protection. That adds a whole different layer.
It really does. She's putting up with this guy, the one with the annoying smirk, who apparently brings out the worst in her, not for herself, but for her family's well-being. That's a huge emotional burden.
You can just feel the tension there. Trying to manage intense dislike, maybe some unwanted attraction after that kiss, and this massive family pressure, all while trying to keep a professional front.
Exactly. How much of her own sanity does she sacrifice? It makes her resilience really compelling.
And the setting, Windy Harbor, Minnesota, near Lake Superior. Does that play into it? Small town vibe.
I think so. It creates that classic small town pressure cooker, Harder to avoid each other. Everyone probably knows everyone's business. It likely intensifies everything, the conflict, the chemistry, the stakes. No escaping Milo or the family drama.
So her strength here isn't about fighting back aggressively, maybe. It's more about endurance, controlling her own reactions for a bigger purpose.
I think that's a great way to put it. It's agency through self-control, through prioritizing something bigger than her own comfort or annoyance. It's a quieter, but maybe even tougher form of strength.
Really interesting contrast to the werewolf book. Okay, third book. Let's jump genres again. From family duty to, well, breaking the law sounds like. We've got The Sweetest Getaway by Sasha Preston, labeled a women's adventure heist thriller.
Yeah, total shift. This one sounds like a lot of fun.
It does. So the premise centers on Jennifer. She starts out as this wholesome daydreamer, totally risk-averse. But then her roommate, Nari, who's much bolder, pulls her into some, let's say, creative, money-making scheme.
Illegal scheme.
The summary implies it, yeah. But crucially, they're stealing from bad guys. And here's the hook for Jennifer's character arc. She discovers that breaking the rules, when it's against the right people, is actually fun.
The liberation moment. The good girl finds her inner rebel. Love that.
Totally. But of course, it can't stay small time. The cops get suspicious, things escalate, and suddenly Jennifer and Nari need to team up with a crew of actual seasoned criminals.
Okay, so it goes from petty crime to a full-blown heist.
Exactly. One daring heist, the summary says. Classic structure.
So what makes it specifically a women's adventure heist? Is it just the leads?
Well, the description frames it like Ocean's 8 meets a feel-good caper. It sounds like the focus is really on that friendship between Jennifer and Ari. That seems to be the core relationship driving Jennifer's transformation.
Okay, so the female bond is central.
Seems like it. Though there is a romance mentioned, a charming stranger who complicates her new double life. But the vibe feels more focused on the caper and the crew.
And it also mentions it's a no-spice, cozy heist.
Right. Cozy heist, which suggests lower stakes in terms of violence, maybe. More about the cleverness, the laughs, the found family aspect of the crew.
Yeah, focusing on the fun and the camaraderie of pulling one over on the bad guys rather than gritty danger. Makes sense for that feel-good angle.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting, connecting it back to the author Sasha Preston. Her background gives this whole concept another dimension.
Oh, tell me more.
Okay, so get this. Her mom was a writer, encouraged her creativity. They even wrote short stories together weekly, so the writing foundation is there.
Okay, that makes sense.
So she studied political science in college, and her focus, international development and women's economic empowerment.
Whoa, okay. That puts a different spin on a heist novel.
Right. Suddenly, a story about a team, led by women, pulling off a heist against presumably some evil corporation or bad guys.
Yeah.
It doesn't just sound like fun. It sounds like, well, a narrative expression of challenging power structures.
Absolutely. It's like taking that academic interest in empowerment and turning it into this fictional act of rebellion, stealing from the powerful as a form of maybe not justice, but certainly balancing the scales in a fun way.
And the author actually said she wanted to write stories that inspire readers to be more bold in their everyday lives. And she picked the cozy heist genre specifically because it's about breaking the rules and having a blast while doing it.
That ties it all together perfectly. The genre choice, the character arcs, her own background, it all points to this theme of women finding power through unconventional means, through collaboration, and maybe finding some joy in shaking things up.
Yeah, it really does. So across all three, the werewolf romance, the small-town drama, the heist, we see these women facing down expectations, whether they're supernatural, familial, or societal.
And finding their own way through. Not just accepting their lot, but actively defining it. Using wit or endurance or, teamwork and lockpicks.
Exactly. They're taking charge. Using their internal strengths, creativity, resilience, boldness to navigate whatever the world throws at them.
They're definitely the ones driving the narrative. It's really energizing to see.
Well, thanks for joining us today. And if you want to take a look at any of these books, visit us at essentialbookdrop.com. You'll have all the links right there. Cass, we'll do it again tomorrow.
Sounds great. Talk to you then.
Until then, keep on opening new worlds with great new books. And whatever you do, remember this: when you read,
Your mind becomes its own kingdom.